to my channel. My name is Alvina, if you haven't been here before, and we here like to talk about makeup and do some fun makeup looks. Recently I've been really liking the idea of doing more makeup related to webtoons because fact is I read a lot of webtoons, so I would love to talk more about them since it is like a big part of my life. The only problem is that I tend to read around 20 webtoons at once, you know, since they update weekly, so it's like you have 20 ongoing shows. So it's kind of hard to keep track of everything, but I do want to do more that have ended recently or webtoons that are having like a return week. So the webtoon that we're going to be talking about today is Odd Girl Out. Here is the makeup look that I have for it. So I'm starting off with a different primer today. It's another Smashbox one. It's called Photo Finish Minimize Pores. I'm running low on the usual one that I use, and I am planning on potentially switching brands for primers because I feel like Smashbox is a bit pricey. So, and again, I only have that because it was given to me as a gift. So I might switch to something by NYX. I'm really liking their brand so far. And I will be using a new concealer. This is the NYX HD Studio Photogenic. The color is CW01. I wanted to try using a new concealer because mine was running low and NYX is known to be cruelty-free. But anyways, about Odd Girl Out. Odd Girl Out was one of the webtoons that really I started out with, I think. It's been ongoing for a really long time and I feel like their episodes have been getting longer and longer, which is a good thing because it's hard to wait, okay? I feel like I would categorize it as a very coming of age type of webtoon. So it starts off when the girls were in high school, but it does progress as they're going through high school, and it does touch on things that happened in elementary school and middle school. It's also one that's very much about friendship. I think a very basic summary of it is about like a girl that, as the title says, feels like the odd girl out in her friend group because she doesn't feel as pretty as everyone else. The other characters are drawn to be extremely beautiful, and she's in a friend group like of 4 people. Namely one of them being her former best friend in elementary school, Yuna. Seunji and Mireille are the other 2 girls. And the main character's name is Nari. I just went over to the webtoon to double check that I got everyone's names right. I tend to forget people's names very easily. And it said that there's a K-drama adaptation, so I'm really hyped. But anyhow, one of my favorite things about this webtoon is that it really talks about complex friendships and things like that, as well as every character, no matter how like dramatic the situation is, and no matter how much you're like, oh my gosh, like how could they possibly do that? There is a backstory for them, like even like the meanest people. And it does talk about bullying a bit, like feeling left out, how people like exclude other people in school, and I do like that it kind of teaches you how to be yourself. Nari is just a really sweet and genuine person. She's the main character who also does have character flaws. She's not just nice, you know. She has self-esteem issues, which is something that I had always struggled with. And she was a bit of a pushover growing up, which is again something else that I definitely relate to. And I like the fact that they touch upon this because they show like how she grows as a person and how she is able to stand up more for herself as she gets older. It's honestly crazy. I reread a few of the earlier chapters before starting this video, specifically because somehow, crazily enough, I could not remember for the life of me why Yuna and Nari had like some type of falling out when they were younger. And I think that's ridiculous because it's such a major plot point, but it's been so long. You have to understand that this webtoon has been ongoing for so long, and then it went on a break and it just came back. So I don't think there's like too much of like a makeover scene as well for the main character. You know how like in True Beauty, the main character has like a huge makeover. I don't think throughout the webtoon she's never seen as, well, suddenly drastically more beautiful, except for when she was more confident and true to herself, which I think is quite accurate in life. I feel like a lot of the time when you are more confident with yourself and you feel comfortable in your own skin, of course people are going to be more attracted to that. Right, just gonna put on some Laura Mercier setting powder. Another thing is that the webtoon, for at least the first bit, really focuses more on friendship relationships rather than romance. Like, sure, there might be a bit, but it's not the major plot point at the very start of the book. It's really about how Nari learns to love herself and really try to stop letting other people's opinions on her affect her. Just gonna prime my eyes with the NYX Jumbo pencil. I found a pencil sharpener for it, but it was at Shoppers and it was like $2 something, pretty good. But yes, just to clarify, the NYX pencil is sharp, like you can sharpen it, so don't worry if it runs super low. I'm gonna be putting on some of this peachy color from the Beach Muse palette because I just like how flattering it looks on me. But I do like to add a bit of color on my eyelids before going in on the look. The audio is really bad today because of the construction that's going on outside, so I'm gonna try using my headphones for now and hoping that it might help a little bit. So I'm going to go in with the sparkles here that you see from the Physicians Formula palettes, I guess. You can still find them at Shoppers, which I was really happy about. It seems like the palette looks identical to this one that I've been using for the past 4 years. So when I run out, there is options. For anyone who does like romance, I hope this isn't really a spoiler, but there is a bit of it later on. But I do like the fact that by the time the romance really sets in, I feel like Nari is in a better place in terms of self-esteem. Next, I'll be going into the NYX Ultimate palette. I'll be using this green color right here. I'm not going to use a sparkly one because, as you saw last time from the frog video, the sparkly one is a bit harder to get pigment on. So we're going to be drawing the leaf above the eye. I already put some of the white jumbo NYX thing onto my upper eyes just to make sure that the green stands out a bit more. This is a very tiny brush that I hope will be easier to control than my usual one, but I will let you know. Just gotta be a bit quiet here while I am fixing this up. At the beginning of the webtoon that I was rereading, at least, I did find it a bit annoying how Nari is kind of babied by everyone. And I'm glad that at the end she does really start finding out more things about herself, and she becomes a lot more independent of her friends. She has to learn to fight her own battles and not just have Yuna take care of everything for her, because I do feel like at the beginning, anytime that people mess with Nari, Yuna would be her protector, which I think it's a sweet thing to do, just as long as she ends up finding out how to take care of things by herself. Construction stopped after I went through talking about most of the plot. Amazing. Art collection, again, the pink, I guess it's like a gel eyeliner, pencil eyeliner, one of the two. My favorite to use for drawing flowers and such. Right, and there is one flower. I also noticed like the aesthetic has changed like just slightly from the start of this webtoon. A lot of the drawings around the title were a lot more simple at the start, but now they're like full on like sunflowers and whatnot. I also do really like the small like animal drawings that they have of each character, which is based on something that I don't really want to spoil. The story progresses at, I think, a pretty decent pace. I guess it's a bit slow. If you start reading it now, you're gonna be like, oh my god, it's gonna take forever. Especially like seeing the art style change was pretty cool. I cannot believe it. I feel like I didn't really notice it before until like really going through the older chapters. Side note, I really enjoy adding some white details with this NYX pen and tiny brush combo. It's one of my favorites to do. Sometimes like adding that little like white dot and things just makes the makeup look so much better. Anyhow, I really like how all the characters have different dreams that they're going to chase in the future. So I'm hoping, I don't know because I haven't searched this up before, but I'm hoping that the webtoon does continue into their university life. I feel like it'd be really cool to watch them grow. Though I do admit that it has been getting a bit long, so I don't know if the author will do that or if they'll just do a time skip thing. I think Nari being class president and just being a very amicable person overall has been really fun to watch. Alright, so the construction has started again, so earbuds are back in. This is going to be rough for me to edit the audio because I know that it's a bit different for both. Going in with the powdered blush. Alright, now I'm going to add in the eyeliner, starting off with the Clio Sharp So Simple waterproof pencil liner. As you can tell, I am procrastinating drawing the ducks on my cheeks because I do not want to mess them up. After the pencil eyeliner, I will go in with the Stila eyeliner with the micro tip side. The duck does represent Nari's character in the webtoon. A lot of the time, it's very cute. They have a few drawings of animals at the top of the page, and then it kind of shows like which character, because each character is symbolized by a different animal. And we're going in with a nice bright yellow, maybe mixing it a bit with this orange from the NYX Ultimate palette. So apparently the webtoon started when I was in around first year university slash just finished high school. I don't know when I exactly started reading it, but I feel like I probably started it later. Like I didn't start it like the moment it came out. I'm just gonna try to draw on the beak with an orange color. This is the closest I have to orange. I feel like Nari was really trying to go from a middle school to high school glow up. So she really wanted to be seen as like super pretty. She just lost a bunch of weight and she's hoping to be the popular girl type of thing, that all the guys will look at her. A very superficial start, and it's very funny to see how she has changed from since then. Like from since she first entered the school. But it was definitely something that I related to from graduating high school into university, which is definitely different from Nari's case. I was really hoping to have that glow up as well. I lacked a lot of confidence and I really did not feel the prettiest. I didn't know how to use makeup, and I feel like if I did, it would have been something like True Beauty, the girl's first try at doing makeup, or like Nari's first try at doing makeup. Probably would have been made fun of. I wasn't very confident and I always wanted to be like the pretty girl, and it wasn't really panning out for me. Like I always wanted to be the main character, but I wasn't. I focused most of my life trying to make other of my friends happy a lot of the time, choosing not to make any conflict with people. I was like the pushover that Nari started out to be. And going into university, it really gave me the chance to rethink things. I believe I did focus a lot on trying to make myself pretty. I tried to learn how to do makeup. I started using like double eyelid tape because that's a very big Asian beauty standard if you don't already know. I think self-esteem is something that takes a while to really develop. I'm gonna go in with the details with my micro tip Stila liner. So I did relate to Nari a lot, although I didn't have like friends that made me feel like I wasn't as pretty, which was something that Nari really struggled with. I do remember not really liking Yuna at first before I understood her, because I related to like being super self-conscious about how I feel and always having other people's opinions affect me. And I do believe that it's really hard to fix that type of feeling. I'm gonna do a simple lipstick because I'm getting tired of dealing with the construction. But anyways, I feel like a big confidence booster is, like I said before, surrounding yourself with people that will actually care for you. And because like I felt like it was really easy to walk over me a lot when I was younger, it was hard to learn to stand up for myself and to not really let other people's opinions like take over my life. It still does sometimes, and it's still hard for me to really see things as like it's not that big of a deal. Like it's hard for me because sometimes I overthink things a lot, and I'm and that makes friendships a lot harder for me. I think like, oh, I did this, now they're never gonna want to talk to me again or something like that, but it's never really the case. Surrounding yourself with people that you can trust is important, and that people who you know will hype you up, who will not be praying for your downfall, who in the end of the day want to make you happy. And beyond that, putting yourself out there, I feel like can be a real confidence booster. I mean, like before, I don't think I would have ever filmed videos to post on YouTube because I would be far too embarrassed to do so. It's really hard, but once you take the first step, you'll be on your way to become a more confident person. Knowing what you want and standing up for it is probably the greatest glow up that you can ever have. Just putting on my Miche lashes. It's hard for me to feel as pretty without makeup on, to be honest, but I feel like that's just something that's going to take time to feel better about. Alright, so I put on a cardigan and white shirt, which is what Nari is wearing in the return week post banner. The final thoughts about this webtoon: I think it's a great coming of age webtoon. Like I started off saying, there's a lot of character growth and all the episodes are relatively short. I feel like the webtoon started off as like, oh no, I'm in this group of like all like these pretty girls and I feel left out because I'm not as pretty, but it becomes so much more than that. Like so much more than just the main character developing her self-esteem. You talk about each of the pretty girls in the group and what they're going through, and like they're basically the four main characters. Of course, Nari to me is like the main character. The other girls in the group have their own screen time, I guess, and it's really nice to see. And there's even reoccurring minor characters, some of which can be extremely annoying and piss you off, but they also get their chance to show like their reasonings behind some of their actions. It's a really good read if you're interested in things that are slice of life, but like also with a bit of drama and a lot of like character growth. I think you would be into this one. None the drama is too serious to the point where it disrupts your day-to-day life, like Never Have I Ever, but I think there's enough in it overall. But yeah, let me know if you read this webtoon and what you have thought of it so far. It's been hard to catch up with all of it because it has gone on for 4 years, even with breaks in between. So there's definitely stuff that I could have forgotten to touch about. And it's hard because like the most recent chapters do not match exactly the plot line of the characters when the author was developing the story. So it's hard to remember everything, but there is a lot that goes on and I don't think I'm doing the webtoon justice, so I really think that you should check it out if you haven't already. I hope you liked this look and let me know what makeup look you'd like me to try next. Thank you! Please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye bye now!